I was born on Sherman Street.
Uh-huh.
That's south of Gratiot. And we lived on 2 or 3 different streets in that area. Clinton over by the old Calvary Baptist Church. And then the family moved up north of Gratiot to Napoleon Street. And I had a brother that was born on High Street, which is now Verna Highway.
Now, you also told me that you had some relatives who were business owners in the area.
My father was one of 6 brothers and 3 sisters. And when the boys came here, and the boys, I mean my uncles and my father, in 1917, well, they proceeded to get into, after getting jobs at Ford's, they proceeded to get into businesses. And they had a shoe shine stand down at old Interurban Station at Jefferson and Bates. And one of my uncles had a barbecue, 2 barbecue establishments, one up at Farnsworth and St. Antoine.
Serve You Barbecue?
Serve You Barbecue. And the other was over at Maple and St. Albans. And my Uncle Walter had a grocery store around on Maple and
Maybe one of
DuBois.
these milkmen visited the
Very
neighborhood.
well be.
Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
I
remember those
those.
milk wagons when they were pulled by horses, too.
And I don't remember that.
So you're not admitting to that, huh?
I don't remember. I really don't remember that. But I remember my father having an ice truck. And among other things, when we calculate my parents' ages, in the 20s, my mother was 17 because she married at 16, and my father was 6 years old, would have made him 23. They owned a restaurant on Hastings.
Now, how did they learn at that young age?
I don't
to
know.
Run a restaurant?
If you would have to know my father to appreciate it, and my mother encouraged him in it. She was the little cook at 17.
And you told me the meals were $1?
The meals were $1, and their business only lasted a year, and it folded because my mother states that there was a greasy spoon down the street that sold meals for 75 cents. They weren't so
undercut.
clean, so
I
they were
see.
undercut. And my aunt took, she was a ticket seller at the Arcadia Theater on Hastings. So we had movie houses all down the street, didn't we?
Yes,
So a
there
lot
were
to
at
do.
least, there was 7 or 8 theaters on Hastings, between Gratiot and Medbury.
Okay.
And they were all on the same side of the street, the
Just
east
a
side
strip,
of the street.
a strip of theaters. Now, all of this sprung out of necessity, did it not, Mrs. Williams, in terms of the large numbers of blacks that moved into the area during that time period?
Right, and basically it came from the reality, as I was speaking a little bit earlier, that most of the institutions and other types of services were segregated at that time, and so it really forced blacks to develop a sense of self-reliance and really begin to build upon the resources that were in the black community.